Hello everybody, it's Shard here, back again with a new video on this channel. So in today's video, we are going to be going through private server features that Greenville needs to have. Now, I'm not necessarily trying to say here that Greenville has to have these commands or the game is going to die or something like that. It's just pretty much like commands or features, I guess, that I would like to see within private servers and that I personally think would be cool additions to being a private server owner and stuff like that. Also, if you guys haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. But anyways, guys, let's get straight into the video. Alrighty, so moving straight on to the first thing here, this is being able to freeze players. Now, I think this would be a very handy thing to add because it would make it so, for example, let's say a player in a roleplay server is FRPing by any chance, and you are unable to catch up to them, and you don't know who they are, and pretty much anything like that. Let's say that somebody in a roleplay server is like running away from you or something like that, and you need to like talk to them about something or whatever, and they have no idea you're chasing them down, or they just are completely just trying to run away from you. Well, imagine if you knew their username and you could basically just freeze their car or just freeze them in general, so then they wouldn't be able to run away from you anymore. I think that would be a really cool feature to add, purely just because of the fact that it would make role-playing and like moderating during roleplays and stuff so much easier, because instead of having to chase people down or even just kick them on the spot because they wouldn't stop running away from you, instead it would be a lot better, in my opinion, if you could simply just freeze the player by putting in, for example, like freeze this player right here. So I'm just gonna put my name, and then imagine if that would just freeze my car and also freeze my avatar so I would be unable to move. And then the staff member or whoever could come up to me, tell me what I was doing wrong or whatever, and just like, you know, basically explain something to me. I don't know, but it would just be a really, really cool thing to add, especially during roleplay situations and stuff like that, and just to like moderate a lot better during sessions. And I just think it would be a really cool thing to add. So tell me what you guys think. And then the next thing here is a little bit of a controversial thing, I'd say. So this is actually fly commands, and I can see why Greenville may not want to add these, but at the same time I could see how it could be useful. So like, for example, for the people who don't have free cam, it could be very useful for them, because then they could fly around the map and get like shots of things a lot easier and stuff like that. And also, it could make it a lot easier for private server owners to like just navigate around the server. Like, let's say that they're moderating or something and they just want to be able to see over the map a lot better instead of just driving around all the time, like, you know, all that. Imagine if they could just fly up and then they could just view the entire map and just view people, and it would just be really good. So the next one here could actually be a really good thing, and this is actually muting players. So if those of you don't know, currently in Greenville, you are not able to mute players who talk and chat in private servers. Even if you own the server, you actually are not able to mute people. And I don't think I've ever seen a private server in Roblox, at least when it comes to like the niche of Greenville and Southwest Florida. But it would be really good in my opinion, because let's say that you're hosting a roleplay server and somebody is just like not FRPing necessarily, but just causing a ruckus in chat, and you don't necessarily want to kick them, but at the same time it could be way better, instead of you kicking them, maybe like you could just mute them in the chat instead to make them like just stop talking and basically just make them unable to speak, sort of like in Discord how you can mute people if you have the certain bots or whatever, or basically time people out from chats and then they can't talk for a certain amount of time. I think that could be a really cool thing to add to Greenville for the private server owners, as again, it would help the moderation of roleplay servers so much, because then it could basically make it so if somebody's like spamming chat, like, or anything like that, then you can simply just mute them and they won't be able to talk for a certain period of time. And the fourth thing right here is actually probably one of the biggest features here on this list, and this is being able to give other people admin commands. And this has been like a wanted feature for private server owners for a long time now, and I can definitely see why, because nowadays a lot of roleplay servers within Greenville usually have a co-host, and usually the co-host is actually unable to do anything. Like, they have to always call up the host and be like, hey, we need to kick this person, or hey, this person, like, you know, needs something or whatever. And a lot of the time, co-hosts aren't able to kick people or anything like that if they need to, purely because of the fact that they are unable to, due to the fact that they don't own the server. So in my personal opinion at least, it would be really, really useful if Greenville actually made it so you were able to give other players admin commands as well within the private server, as then this would actually give co-hosts like also, you know, like permissions to do a lot of things that they can't do currently. And then guys, the last thing here is being able to test cars within private servers. So this one could kind of be almost like a global feature, I guess. Probably not, to be honest, because if you're in a roleplay server, people may or may not just like get cars that they don't actually own, I guess. But even for private server owners, this could be a really cool thing to have. So for example, for YouTubers, if they want to review cars that they can't afford, then as long as they own a private server, it would be cool if they could buy them, or at least test them out for a certain time period. And even just like being able to drive around cars that you've never driven around before, and just test them out before you buy them, so then you can actually make a good decision if you would like them or not. And I know that Greenville has talked about testing cars before, but I don't think it's ever been brung up for like private server owners before. So I'm not exactly sure how Greenville would actually react to this, but I wouldn't be mad if they actually added this feature to private servers for the owners, because it could definitely be really cool and useful for them. And obviously, if they were able to test cars, they probably would put some restrictions on it, like you won't be able to change your plate and all that sort of stuff. But even like that, it would still be a really cool thing, especially just to like know if you actually want to buy the car or not. And it would just be a nice little perk to add for the private server owners. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. So if you guys did happen to enjoy it, again, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But yeah, anyways, see you later, guys, and goodbye.